Have you ever wondered why some older people start avoiding social gatherings as they age? Well, I've reached a point in my life where I've made a conscious decision to cut back on socializing. And honestly, it's been one of the best choices I've made. At 70, I realized that I no longer felt the need to attend every family gathering or meet up with friends just to keep up. It wasn't that I didn't care about people, but over time, I started craving more peace, more time for myself, and deeper, more meaningful connections. Want to know why this shift was so life-changing for me? Let's dive in and explore the 5 habits that have completely transformed the way I approach socializing in my golden years. Habit number 1. Prioritizing peace over pleasantries. As we age, we naturally become more attuned to what truly matters in life. Social interactions, which may have once felt exciting or fulfilling, can start to feel like a drain on our energy. In my younger years, I enjoyed attending every party, family gathering, and social outing. But as I entered my 70s, I found that those same interactions started to feel exhausting. The small talk, the forced pleasantries, and the constant need to be on began to wear me down. I realized that socializing wasn't always adding to my happiness. It was sometimes just adding stress. And with the passing years, I've learned that preserving my peace is far more important than keeping up with every social norm. Inner peace has become a top priority for me, and I've learned that this can only be achieved by minimizing unnecessary social stress. At 70, my focus shifted from pleasing others to ensuring my own mental and emotional well-being. The noise of constant interactions can overwhelm our minds, and without peace it becomes harder to truly enjoy the precious moments of our lives. I've found that when I take a step back from social obligations, I'm giving myself the space to breathe, reflect, and recharge. I now recognize that there's no value in engaging in situations that drain me, just to adhere to social expectations. In the past, I used to feel guilty about turning down invitations. I worried about letting people down or being seen as unsociable. But over time, I've come to understand that taking a break from social events is one of the best gifts I can give myself. Instead of attending a large family dinner that I wasn't truly excited about, I decided to spend the evening alone, reading a book I had been meaning to finish. That night of solitude turned out to be incredibly fulfilling. I was able to recharge my batteries, reflect on my life, and enjoy the quiet. The peace I found that evening was priceless, and it reminded me that it's okay to choose peace over pleasantries. This shift in mindset has allowed me to maintain a better balance in my life. I now say no without guilt and focus on activities that contribute to my well-being. For instance, I take walks in nature, which has become a favorite way to connect with my thoughts and clear my mind. When I do socialize, it's with people who bring me joy without the pressure to attend every event. The few social interactions I have now are far more meaningful because they come without the burden of obligatory attendance or forced pleasantries. Prioritizing peace over pleasantries has made a huge difference in how I experience life in my 70s. The energy I once spent on endless social gatherings is now channeled into my health, personal growth, and finding happiness in the quiet moments. If you're in your later years and feeling overwhelmed by social pressures, I encourage you to consider the value of prioritizing your peace. Trust me, it will change your life for the better. Habit number 2. Focus on self-care. As we age, the importance of self-care becomes even clearer. The time I once spent socializing is now better spent on activities that truly nurture my well-being. By choosing to avoid unnecessary social gatherings, I've gained more time to dedicate to my physical, mental, and emotional health. I no longer feel the need to fill every moment with social engagements. Instead, I've learned to invest that time in the things that directly contribute to my health and happiness. Whether it's picking up a good book, going for a long walk, or enjoying a hobby I've always loved, focusing on self-care has brought me a deeper sense of fulfillment. For me, self-care isn't just about physical health, it's about nurturing my mind and soul as well. In the past, I often found myself caught up in the whirlwind of life's demands, constantly striving to meet others' expectations. But as I've grown older, I've learned that taking care of myself is not a luxury. It's a necessity. I no longer worry about what others think of my choices, and I've stopped feeling guilty for choosing quiet time over social outings. I've learned to embrace the idea that caring for myself, whether through exercise, a peaceful evening of reading, or simply taking time to reflect, should always be my first priority. Self-care isn't just about physical activities like exercise, though that certainly plays a role. It's about taking the time to nurture my emotional and mental well-being too. I've spent many years putting others first, trying to live up to external expectations, and it was only when I slowed down and focused on my own needs that I truly began to understand the importance of inner balance. Meditation, journaling, and even taking short naps have become vital parts of my routine. These activities allow me to reset, recharge, and reconnect with myself, which helps me feel more centered and at peace, even when life gets hectic. When I made the choice to scale back on socializing, I realized how much mental clutter I had been carrying with me. Conversations, events, and obligations, many of them unnecessary, had been taking up space in my mind. Now that I've removed some of those distractions, I've found that my mind is clearer and my emotional health is better for it. I can focus on things that truly matter to me, such as deepening my relationship with myself and engaging in activities that bring me joy. Without the pressure of constantly meeting social obligations, I feel more grounded and connected to what truly nourishes my soul. Ultimately, focusing on self-care has been one of the most rewarding habits I've developed in my 70s. I now live each day with intention, spending my time in ways that align with my own needs rather than society's expectations. Whether it's indulging in a hobby, doing yoga, or simply enjoying quiet time, I've learned that taking care of myself isn't selfish, it's essential. And this shift in focus has not only improved my quality of life, but has also allowed me to be a better, more peaceful version of myself when I do choose to engage with others. Self-care truly is the foundation of living a long, fulfilling life. Habit number 3. Enjoying solitude without feeling lonely. As we age, we often find that the noise of the world becomes more overwhelming, and in that silence we discover a new power: solitude. The misconception many people have is that being alone equals loneliness, but I've found that solitude offers an opportunity for true connection with oneself. In my 70s, I've come to appreciate that being alone doesn't mean being isolated or disconnected. In fact, it often leads to the most meaningful and enriching moments of my life. Solitude allows me to pause and reflect on the experiences I've had, the lessons I've learned, and the kind of person I want to continue becoming. Spending time alone provides the space to engage in deep reflection. It's a time to step back from the rush of the world and evaluate where I am in my life. What do I truly value? What brings me peace? These are questions that come to the surface only when I give myself permission to be still. In solitude, I can reflect on my past without distractions, learn from my mistakes, and celebrate my achievements. It's during these quiet moments that I feel most connected to my true self, without any external noise clouding my thoughts. The time I spend alone helps me cultivate a deeper sense of purpose and understanding of who I am. What I've also learned is that solitude nurtures personal growth. We live in a world where everyone is constantly connected and in a hurry to be somewhere or do something. But when I choose to be alone, I'm not just avoiding social gatherings, I'm investing in myself. Whether I'm reading a book, working on a hobby, or simply sitting quietly, I'm strengthening my mind and spirit. Alone time has given me the chance to develop skills I never had time for before, and to truly explore my own creativity and interests, things that often get lost in the shuffle of busy social calendars. One of my favorite activities is taking a solitary walk. I remember one morning when I decided not to attend a coffee gathering. I instead took a long walk through the park. The air was crisp, and the world around me was quiet except for the rustling leaves. I had no particular destination, just the space to wander and clear my mind. That walk was more rejuvenating than any social event could have been. It gave me the peace and clarity I needed, and by the time I returned home, I felt recharged and ready for the day. The time I spent alone in nature filled me with a sense of calm that no crowded event could provide. Solitude has taught me to find joy within myself. I've realized that the idea of loneliness comes from the fear of being disconnected. But solitude is not about being disconnected. It's about reconnecting with who we truly are. As I embrace this new phase of life, I've found that enjoying my own company has become one of the most fulfilling aspects of my days. I no longer feel the need to fill every moment with people. Instead, I relish the quiet, knowing that it's in those moments that I am truly free. So, if you're struggling with the idea of being alone, I encourage you to try embracing solitude. You might just discover the richness of life that exists in the stillness. Habit number 4. Nurturing close, meaningful relationships. As we age, the number of people we interact with tends to naturally decrease, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, I've come to realize that fewer but deeper relationships can be far more fulfilling. When I was younger, I tried to be a part of every social scene, attending large gatherings and keeping up with dozens of acquaintances. But now, in my 70s, I've learned that it's not the number of people I know, but the quality of my connections that matters most. I've realized that the most meaningful relationships are the ones where there's mutual understanding, respect, and a genuine emotional bond. Those are the ones that stand the test of time. Avoiding large social gatherings has allowed me the space to focus on nurturing these deep, meaningful relationships. Instead of spreading myself thin, I can now devote my time and energy to the people who truly matter to me. Close family members, old friends, and individuals who share similar values. This change has helped me cultivate stronger connections with those I care about most. I no longer feel the need to attend every birthday party, family reunion, or community event. Instead, I choose to spend my time in smaller, more intimate settings where real conversations and authentic connections can flourish. For example, instead of attending a large, noisy family gathering, I now prefer to invite one or two of my closest relatives over for a quiet evening. We can enjoy a meal together, talk about life, and share memories without the distraction of too many people. There's something so special about those one-on-one moments, where the focus is purely on connecting and understanding each other. The conversations are richer, the laughs are more genuine, and the time spent together feels more valuable. These small, meaningful gatherings are far more rewarding than any crowded event I used to feel obligated to attend. Another benefit of nurturing these close relationships is that they provide the emotional support we need as we age. As we get older, our priorities shift, and having a trusted friend or family member who truly understands us becomes even more essential. These are the people who check in on us, offer their help when needed, and stand by us through life's challenges. The deeper the relationship, the more we feel safe in sharing our vulnerabilities, our fears, and our dreams. It's these connections that provide the foundation for emotional stability as we navigate the later years of life. By prioritizing close relationships over shallow, large group events, I've found a new sense of contentment and joy. I no longer feel the pressure to be everywhere and please everyone. Instead, I can focus on the people who truly bring value to my life, and those are the relationships that matter most. If you're in your later years and finding that large social gatherings feel overwhelming or unfulfilling, I encourage you to take a step back and focus on nurturing the relationships that truly bring you joy. You'll find that those close, meaningful connections will fill your life with more happiness than any crowded party ever could. Habit number 5. Living life on my own terms. As I've gotten older, I've come to cherish the freedom that comes with living life on my own terms. At 70, I no longer feel bound by societal expectations or the pressures to conform to others' ideas of how I should live. I've embraced autonomy in a way that's been both liberating and empowering. The constant need to please others or follow what everyone else is doing has faded, and I now make decisions that are rooted in my own desires and values. Whether it's how I spend my time, what activities I engage in, or the relationships I nurture, I choose based on what truly feels right for me. Avoiding social pressures has played a huge role in creating this freedom. In the past, I often said yes to things because I didn't want to let anyone down or be seen as unsociable. But as I've gotten older, I've learned the importance of saying no when something doesn't align with my priorities. This shift has allowed me to live more intentionally, making choices that serve my well-being rather than conforming to external expectations. By stepping away from the noise of constant social obligations, I've gained the space to focus on what truly matters to me, whether it's my health, hobbies, or simply enjoying a peaceful moment. Living on my own terms has also given me the opportunity to explore passions and interests that I never had time for before. In the past, I often felt like I had to prioritize work, social events, or other people's needs above my own. But now, with fewer obligations, I've discovered new hobbies and passions that bring me joy. For example, I've taken up painting, a hobby I always admired but never had time for when life was busier. It's become a way for me to express myself creatively and find peace in the process. That time spent with a brush and canvas is a reminder that it's never too late to invest in your personal growth and explore new aspects of who you are. Another example of living life on my own terms is how I spend my mornings now. I used to rush through the start of my day, often trying to fit in chores or meet others' expectations. Now, I take my time. I begin each day with a quiet cup of tea, read a chapter from a book, and sometimes take a walk in the garden before doing anything else. This simple ritual, one I never had time for in my earlier years, has brought so much fulfillment and calm to my life. I've come to realize that small moments of stillness where I am doing exactly what I want are some of the most precious parts of my day. Living life on my own terms means prioritizing my needs without guilt. It's about accepting that I am allowed to take the time I need for myself without feeling the weight of external pressures. I now choose how to spend my days based on what makes me feel fulfilled, rather than what I think I should be doing. If you're in your later years, I encourage you to embrace the freedom that comes with autonomy. Step away from the expectations of others and live intentionally, following your own path. In doing so, you may find that your life becomes richer, more peaceful, and more aligned with your true self. Conclusion: living life on your own terms, embracing solitude, and nurturing deep relationships have truly made my 70s the most fulfilling years of my life. I hope my habits and experiences resonate with you and maybe even inspire you to embrace these changes in your own life. Remember, it's never too late to prioritize your peace, self-care, and autonomy. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comments by typing 9 if you agree with the habits I shared, or if you have different habits that have made a positive impact on your life. I'd love to hear from you. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.